Hi, Palmetto Hills families, and especially children. Today we're going to look at Jesus, who is the light of the world. We're going to ask a few questions and think about what it means to be light in the world. So I want you to think with me about light. When you think of light or a candle like I have here, what do you think of? Maybe you think of getting rid of darkness, right? It's kind of dark in this room right now, but I have the light. Right? And now it's getting rid of that darkness. Maybe you think of showing things that are real, right? Maybe you're in your room and it's dark and you wonder, is there something there that I don't see? Well, what do? You turn on a light. You would flip on the switch and see, is it there? You might also think about the fact that light helps us to see. It helps us in our rooms. It helps us even on the road in our cars, right? And even light helps us to be safe from danger, right? It keeps us from falling into pits, or if we're walking in the woods, it helps us to see if we were going through the woods like that, right? So light also shows us the way that we should go. And so Jesus does all those things for us. In fact, Jesus shows us the way that we should go too. And he does this in two ways. First, Jesus shows that we don't walk in darkness. He's the light that walks before us. He's the light that gives us a clear path so we don't walk in darkness. John chapter 8, verse 12 says, "I am the light of the world. Whoever believes and follows me will not walk in darkness, but he will have the light of life." So Jesus is saying that we don't walk in darkness. We have Jesus. He is our light. And second, he tells us that he leads the way for us so that we can do exactly what God wants us to do. Right? So as Jesus leads the way for us, we can follow him and do what he commands us. John 9, verses 4 and 5 says, "We must work the works of him who sent Jesus while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as Jesus is in the world, he is the light of the world." So we see that we can follow Jesus so that we can do what God wants us to do. Think about maybe sometimes with your parents, they ask you to do something, but you don't really like what they say. And so sometimes it's so easy for us to say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to go play over here, or I'm going to do maybe the exact opposite, right? But Jesus says light helps us because he is the light of the world. He helps us to do what God wants us to do. And your parents are part of that. Your parents are there by God to help you to do what God wants you to do. But Jesus says, even more than that, follow me, for I am the light of the world. So think about that. Look through these questions. Think about, what does light do? And what are those two ways we talked about that Jesus leads the way for us? And then what are those verses that I just mentioned? The verses that show us that Jesus is the light of the world. See you guys next time.